So can you just explain to me who you are?
So my name's Tali and I am a shareholder investor in Next Level Developments, which I've been involved with since November 2019 and have already been over to Zambia and a part of the ever-growing shareholders and investors.
Okay, so what is Next Level Developments?
Next Level Development is a community of people who have come together through shared ideas, like-mindedness, and this energy of cohesive working in order to be able to basically repatriate to the continent and doing it in the style of collaborative working rather than individuals by themselves. And by that, what that looks like is generally an intentional community whereby we as part of the diaspora, Black Caribbeans, Africans, etc., through this collaborative effort are able to successfully repatriate and build communities, build businesses, increase finances, etc., by this whole idea of working collaboratively.
First of all, you said immigrating to Africa, and Africa is obviously it's a big place. It's 55 countries. It's a continent.
Yes.
Is there any particular country specifically you're focused on?
So there is a particular country where the NLD has initially began its development is in Zambia, which is basically South Central. Why Zambia is because it's very much because of its geographical location, as well as the current climate and time, whereas other parts of the continent have already been invested and developed more so. However, right now, Zambia is an apt country to become more so invested in, and with tons of resources, and with the general politics of the country being very stable. There's lots of pros why it has been Zambia, or why it is Zambia.
Okay, so I understand that obviously the country that you're looking at, certainly for now, in Africa is Zambia.
Yes, however, it's not only going to be, that's not the be-all and end-all.
So it will be expanding.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I mean, in the communities that you're developing,
yes,
certainly at the moment, I know it's still in expansion stage, how at the moment is Next Level Development facilitating immigration or communities? Like what kind of work on the ground is being done?
Okay, so very much what is happening is NLD, and why I actually became involved is because it's very much got an ethos of not just going and exhausting for our own personal benefit here as UK residents going to Africa and making a minute off of Africa. It's very much about working with our fellow community back in Africa, upskilling them, so being able to upgrade their way of working through increasing their tools and what they use to be able to work a lot more productively, a lot more profitably. So already in the space of time that I've been involved, NLD have already been able to, our money has been pulled so that we're able to begin generating the income and basically get into work on the ground immediately. So we've already been able to ship down vehicles, one of which is a recovery vehicle, the other of which, so we've got a recovery truck, we've got a minibus and another vehicle, as well as numerous different types of tools, which again are very much about upskilling the community and being able to work as efficiently as possible.
Okay. So have you been to Zambia yourself?
I have.
How many occasions did you go to?
I've been once. However, I'm going to go back later on this year. So.
And what was tell me a bit more about your experience of Zambia.
So Zambia for me is just the right mix of natural beauty. It's developed in a way that is it's not too far removed from what I'm used to. So that's one thing. It's got an immense amount of natural beauty and resources, and so for me it's just perfect. here in the UK, obviously you become accustomed to a certain way of living, and you know all the things that, not necessarily even luxury items, but just a standard of living. And I feel that lots of people, when they think about Africa, they immediately think about, you know, this really far removed, poverty-stricken environment, which is not necessarily the case. And it definitely wasn't my experience being in Zambia. You know, obviously wherever you go, there is going to be, just like here in the UK, there's going to be nice communities and those which aren't as nice. But my overall experience of Zambia was, I would move there tomorrow.
And had you been to any other African countries, or was Zambia?
Yes, no, I have been to other African countries.
And how did you compare Zambia to maybe some other countries you've been to?
I feel like it was it's one of, I think, the most pioneering and advancing countries in Africa. That's my experience, and that was just because of, you know, from airport to general restaurants and level of service.
Now, say someone, they want to get involved with next level development.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it a case where you go and pack your bags now and you go and repatriate, or
No.
what's the procedure? How does the repatriation get facilitated? And suppose that someone just wants to invest, they may not necessarily want to or certainly yet they may not plan to exactly go to Zambia right now, but they just maybe want to invest and possibly in the future.
Okay, so what I would say is, if they wanted to become involved with NLD in the first instance, is obviously we have a website, we have various different presentations. It's something that we regularly do, so we present in different parts of the UK. And have been doing so for the last few months. So there's obviously the website, we have platforms on Facebook as well as Instagram. So there's various ways that you can become or you can contact us. If you just want to invest, I would also suggest going via the same channels. And on those platforms, obviously, you have the option of checking out our videos, asking questions. We have frequently asked questions on our website as well. So anything that you're thinking about potentially is already there. And if not, get in touch.
Didn't you say before that what appealed to you, something that attracted you, was the fact that it's a group project?
Yes.
Working in a group?
So it's all about collaboratively working. So I became involved purely because of seeing in the others things that I could see in myself, so the like-mindedness. And it's really not about the individual approach, but the group and team and community, which is something that I feel we need to strive to become more so like.
And how many members, roughly, you may not know exact numbers, but how much members are in next level developments?
I'd say just under 20 now, so I think we're around about 18.
About 18 members?
18 members, yes.
Okay, that's fine. And how have you found working in a group alongside the other almost 20 members?
I think we come together very well. I think everyone's able to really make use of the skills that they already have, and obviously they're welcomed. So everyone's able to really specialise and contribute what they bring naturally, and it's not something that's forced. I think because it's such a, I wouldn't say relaxed, but it's such a natural way of working, when working as, you know, what comes naturally, it's quite easy to adapt and be in spaces with other people who are also doing the same thing.
I know you've got a trip to Zambia
Yes.
coming up again in May.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit more about that trip that's coming up?
Okay, so the trip is from May the 14th to the 26th this year. We're going via Rwanda Airways, which will be really, really great. And again, even with going with Rwanda Airways, it was a informed decision, obviously, again, to support our fellow continent and airline. So we're going via Rwanda Airways, even though the journey's slightly longer. And it's going to be a really fun-filled, packed experience, whereby obviously newer members will be able to experience Zambia for the first time, and those of us who have already been re-experience it. On that visit, there'll be trips to various different places within Zambia, and yeah, approximately at current there's approximately 20 of us that will be travelling. However, we do hope to take slightly more than that, up to 30.
Say for example, someone wants to get involved in next level developments now. Can they come on this trip just to see what it's like, or do they have to make a commitment with the group first?
If people are interested, they can obviously check out the website, check out our social media platforms, or if they really are much more about the experience and being able to touch and feel, then obviously they're welcome to attend the research or the trip in May also, to gain a better idea as to what the project's about, what Zambia's like, and whether it's for them.
How did you come across next level developments? Did you know some next level developments? Did you come to event? How did that come about?
It was very much, I'd never met anyone from NLD before. It was actually a presentation that I attended via Luton Black Men, and that was in September of last year. But yeah, I didn't know anyone, and I had no prior experience of NLD. So I've always seen myself returning to the continent and not being here long term. And then obviously come to a presentation, I saw very much the thinking was very much like mine. And it was really to also demonstrate to, I have a daughter, that there are options outside of the UK which do far surpass what we're currently experiencing and living. NLD is a community of people who have got together with shared interest and are really making headway in obviously repatriating to Africa and really working in a community spirit and effort to create better for us as a people. So yeah, get involved.